CityLine. With me, I have someone that I have never gone this long without seeing in terms of face-to-face on CityLine. So we chased him down and now he's back. I'm talking about the Managing Artistic Director of Tacoma Musical Playhouse, Mr. John Douglas Rake. Hello, my friend.
Hi, miss you.
I miss you too, and I miss having you on the comfy couch as well. I mean, my kitchen's great, but it's not the couch.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. So let's talk about how and what has Tacoma Musical Playhouse been doing during the governor's stay-at-home order?
Well, we've been doing a lot of things that we hadn't been able to do because we've been so busy before, making some new things, adding some new things to the theater, cleaning up, and then we're planning as much as you can plan. You just kind of never know. It changes day to day, and you hope for the best. I always look at the glass half full, so I'm trying to figure out new things to be creative. I think that's one of the things that we artists are best at, is taking adversity and then creating like we should.
Yeah, we are great at reinventing. John, I want you to share with our audience when the order came down to shelter in place and stay at home, what was happening at TMP? Because I want folks to kind of understand where we left off with you when we hit the pause button.
Well, we were ready to open A Gentleman's Guide to Love and Murder, which is the one musical this season I was so looking forward to. And I had such a talented cast. And we got word even before the governor closed us down that Pierce County had some hot spots, and we were sort of in the thick of it. So we just decided to not open that night. And literally at 4:00, I called the actors and said, I'm sorry, this just really pains me, but we are not going to open the show. So we've left it on stage just in case something, comes up. It's a pretty versatile set, so that even if we do some different things, we can still leave the set there. And that's where we're at right now.
Boy, that's a hard one. I mean, that's like, having someone throw you a surprise party and then it freezes in time and you don't get to go any further.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, it's so hard, that emotion. So as we have all dealt with this, and especially you had to hit the pause on that, it's frozen in time. So what is the outlook then of the upcoming season?
Well, it's hard to tell. I mean, we were ready to announce the season and then this all happened, and we had to take a step back, slow down for one thing, listen to our patrons and know our patrons well enough to know who's going to come back right away, who's not going to come back, what are the circumstances. And so we've had to think about shows that would work maybe on different scales, with social distancing and things like that. And probability is that most of our seniors are not going to come back right away, at least until maybe there's a vaccine or it's really under control. And so we are looking at planning new types of shows, very small, like 2-person musicals, 3-person musicals. And it's kind of exciting because some of these shows we would have not been able to do during our season. We just don't have the slot to do them. And it's an audience builder. So we're kind of looking at this in a positive scope, where if we do these newer shows, we'll try to bring in new audiences, younger audiences. And then some of them are going to possibly be streamed. The licensing companies are working on that. So the season probably won't start until January 2021 fully. Again, we have to wait for phase 4 and the guidelines from the governor to give us how we can open safely.
Yeah, and so on that note, John, as we all know that we're at the mercy of the virus. As Governor Inslee has said, the virus will tell us when it's time to move into those phases. So You've mentioned Zooming and doing maybe some smaller things as a contingency plan. You being TMP are known for your summer camps. I mean, these summer camps have generations that have gone through them, from the eighth grader that had the fifth grader that had the 4-year-old in the family. Now the 4-year-old's on stage as a 16-year-old in the summer camps. So what are you doing with that legacy? Because we have parents that fully embrace you and Jeff during the summer.
Hard to tell. The answer is we're planning. We have plan A, plan B, and plan C. Plan A would be the best scenario, where we would have some smaller camps in person physically. Plan B would be maybe a combination of both, again, depending on what phase we're in. And then plan C would be just all online camps. We have such wonderful instructors, very talented people that we'll figure out what we have to do. We really want to keep the kids engaged. And I'm sure the parents are, wanting their kids to be able to do things that they aren't able to do with school. And so we're just planning as best we can. And we'll probably keep, if we do physical camps, the camps will be smaller. But that may also mean that the parents don't get to come and see the shows. So we will have video licensing for some of them, so they will be able to see their kids in a video form of the show. But we can't plan and definitely say this is what's going to happen.
Absolutely. And about kids and after school, your education department runs year round. So
Right.
tell us what your educational department's been up to and what are they thinking about this next 4 phases?
Well, Kayla, our director of education, has been really great, and she has a student board that she kind of bounces ideas off, and we've been doing online classes and warm-ups and different things like that with some of the instructors and Kayla. And we're really excited because one of the licensing companies took a family theater show called The Big 1-0 or The Big 10, and they created a Zoom musical. And so we opened it up. We kind of are doing an honor camp. Those kids that have done our camps were eligible to audition for it. They had to do video auditions. They had to do video callbacks. And now they're working on this Zoom musical that will happen the first weekend of June. And so we're trying to keep them engaged and still be very creative in the process that we are able to do. There's music, there'll be dance, and it'll be kind of interesting to see how it turns out. But we're really excited because that's a different thing that we haven't done before.
Yeah, I was like, John, leave it to you and Jeff and your directors to find a new way for the kids to learn how to get back into that honor camp, because doing this on camera, there are lots of classes about this. I mean, the art of auditioning in person has its own mind game of what you have to walk in and own. But to do it Zoom, oh my gosh. I mean, it took me a while to get the learning curve going. So good on ya for saying the camp is still here, but in order for you to get into the camp, you're going to learn while you go. I bet you the kids loved it.
They're having a great time putting it together already. And they started, I think, last week rehearsing, and they're doing it all online virtual. And it's a great little story about a kid who doesn't have any friends, but suddenly is turning 10 years old and wants to have a party. And it's all these funny things that happen to the kid. It's only about 20 minutes long. So they can go, people can go online and actually get a ticket or a ticket to the link. And then we'll send them the link, and it'll be, I think it's June 5th and 6th. It's next weekend. And It should be a lot of fun. The kids I know that are in the show are really some of our best talented kids, and Kayla's having a great time with them.
I love that. John, you are, I always say you're that big jewel in the crown. So what does Tacoma Musical Playhouse need from Tacoma right now?
Prayers.
Hey.
I mean, we are doing a fundraising campaign. We were fortunate to get the PPP loan, and we got a small SBA loan. So that's kind of helped. Because we have been very successful this past years, we've been able to put away a nest egg and keep us healthy in case something like this happened. You know, the weird thing is that you always say, yeah, okay, I'll do this, but when are we ever going to need it? Well, guess what? Here it is. And so right now we do have this one program called Theater Strong. It's a fundraising campaign where people can donate, and we send them a little wristband that has our name on it, and it says Theater Strong. And you can go to our website, or you can find us on Facebook to do it. We've raised almost $10,000 in 2.5 weeks, and it hasn't been very much work for us. And we've seen a lot of donors that we have never had. And we're really proud of the whole thing that's gone on, and the fact that it hasn't been a lot of work, but it certainly has helped us continue with some of our things that we want to do backstage and keep people employed. Everybody's still employed. They're working from home.
I love that. Boy, I'm going to have to get a bracelet. I'm like, okay, I'm in. Purple.
They're fun. They are fun. It's like they get, you know, when they do the breast cancer and all of that. And we're thinking like maybe people that come through the door that have one on, we'll give them a free cookie or a free drink or something like that at some point during the shows.
Are you talking a free pink cookie?
Yeah.
So, John, my last question for you is, how can we help? Let's see. Buy a bracelet, make a donation. The big 1-0 is coming up. Buy a ticket to that. What else?
Well, keep posted on our website, because we'll be posting new events and things like that that we're working on. There are going to be some fun things coming up that everyone will be interested in. Those of you that saw me play the man in the chair, well, the man in the chair is coming back with TMP favorites, and we're going to use some of our favorite TMP performers, and they're going to be doing musical numbers from some of those shows. So that's coming up. They can talk to the government officials, the city officials. They need to know that we are not like a restaurant, that we'll be able to open fairly soon. And so they need to make sure that they let us know that we could use some help funding wise. Let your state representatives know. We're working with Derek Kilmer, trying to help them understand that small community theaters are not being funded by NEA funding and things like that. That we're a different type of community organization, and we're going to need some federal help as well to continue on if we have to continue on for very long.
I love that.
So write them, call them, let them know that you want this, you want us and other theaters to be strong in this whole pandemic.
Absolutely. And we definitely want you to stay strong and to stay healthy, you and Jeff and all of your fabulous team. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with me in my kitchen, zooming away. And I cannot wait to get you back on the comfy couch and to be able to at least give you a hug. So, John Douglas Rake, please take care of yourself.
Thank you. And thanks for reaching out, and virtual hug to you.
Right back at you. All right, we have much more to come on CityLine, so don't go away. We'll be right back.